Today's DLIQ is for perimeter. This assignment opens in Cami, so we are able to use our T, our text box. So at this time, go ahead and locate your T in your tools for text box and click it. We're going to type. Make sure the number right next to your T is 96. We can change it later, but for right now, let's make sure it's large enough for us to see. So make sure it's 96 so it does not show up too small. For the DLIQ, D, remember, stands for do. What did you do in math class today? Let's think about our perimeter lesson from last week. What did we do? Not what we learned yet, but what did we actually do for that lesson? Think about it. Yes, we found the perimeter of a square and rectangle. That's exactly what we did. So that's what we're going to type. What did you do in math class today? Oh, and I can see right away that 96 is too large for me. I'm going to go back and change it to, let's try 36. That's a more manageable size. Yours might look different. It depends on what you can see on your screen. For Mrs. Adams, 36 works. Play with this number until the size works for you. What did you do in math class today? Today, well, that's not going to work. Let me readjust it. There we go. Today, in math, I found the perimeter of a square and rectangle. Your do is exactly the same. Today in math, I found the perimeter of a square and rectangle. I'm going to adjust the size of the font again. It's still too large for me. So I'm going to change it to, let's try 24. That's a little better. And I'm going to readjust my box, resize it. So now it fits right under what I did. What did you do in math class today? Today in math, I found the perimeter of a square and rectangle. Now, here comes what we learned. What did you actually learn? Yes, you found the perimeter, but what did you learn? Even if you knew it before, it's still a skill that we had to apply. So let's think about this. What did you learn? Most of us learned that there is more than one formula. We heard that word. There is more than one formula to find the perimeter of a rectangle. I'm going to type that. I'm going to change my color so it's not confusing, leaving my size at 24. Click where I want to type. I learned that there are 3 formulas to find the perimeter of a rectangle. Now let's be specific. Our learning is growing. So yes, we learned 3 formulas. Our second sentence, you're actually going to tell me what you did. You're going to tell me what you did. So we can write or we can type. One formula I'm going to change that to for one formula. Move my box where you can see it. For one formula, I added the length plus length plus width plus width. For one formula, I added the length plus width to find the perimeter. That's what we learned. We learned the formula, and I'm giving you a specific example of a formula. Length plus width to find the perimeter. What was interesting to you? What was interesting? And this time I'm going to use blue, still making sure my font size is 24. Click where I want to type. I thought it was interesting that there are 3 formulas to solve one problem. It's giving me options. That's pretty interesting. What was interesting to you? Yours might be the same. It may be different. But you're going to write what was interesting to you. Finally, what questions do you have? What questions do you have? Think of something. Something has to go here. Let's think. I'm going to change my color. Let's just use black this time. What questions do you have? I'm thinking. Whenever there's more than one formula, I always wonder, how do I know when to use which formula? How do I know when to use my addition formula? How do I know when to use multiplication? So I'm going to type for my question, how do I know when to use the formula that has addition and when to use the formula with multiplication? Your question might be the same, it might be different, but there has to be a question. We're not going to write, I don't have any questions or I know everything. Something has to go in every space. What did you do? Today in math, I found the perimeter of a square and rectangle. What did you learn? That's our L. I learned that there are 3 formulas to find the perimeter of a rectangle. For one formula, I added the length plus width plus width to find the perimeter. What was interesting to you? I thought it was interesting that there are 3 formulas to solve one problem. What questions do you have? How do I know when to use the formula that has addition and when to use the formula with multiplication? And we're going to wrap this up by, of course, putting our names. And my favorite color is purple, so I'm going to type Mrs. Adams and today's date. Today is October the 12th, 2020. If you wanted to get fancy, guys, you can change your fonts, FYI. Show you that real quick. Notice this says Times New Roman. You can change it to any of these fonts, and it'll change what your text looks like. Completely up to you. Just a little fun fact to end our DLIQ. When you finish, please submit it.